It was a busy evening at the Trump International Hotel in Washington, D.C. The restaurant shimmered under the glow of golden chandeliers, and every table was a stage for high-powered conversations. Elite businessmen, influential politicians, and A-list celebrities all mingled as they savored lavish meals. At a secluded corner table sat Donald J. Trump, former president, real estate mogul, and an iconic figure known around the globe. With an air of casual authority, he enjoyed a perfectly well-done steak with extra ketchup on the side, while scrolling through his phone, occasionally nodding at headlines that seemed to echo both praise and controversy. Suddenly, the large glass doors at the entrance swung open with a quiet clatter. In stepped a small African-American girl, no older than 9, who seemed almost overwhelmed by the opulence of the surroundings. Her tattered hoodie, several sizes too big for her slight frame, fluttered as she moved. Her sneakers, mismatched and worn, hinted at hardships endured. With trembling determination, she clutched her stomach, her eyes darting nervously across the room as if she had unexpectedly wandered into a world far beyond her own. Gathering every ounce of courage, the little girl approached a nearby waiter. "Excuse me, I'm really hungry. Could I have some bread? Just a little, please?" she asked in a soft, quivering voice. The waiter's face went blank, caught between professional decorum and an instinctive uncertainty. Before he could respond, the restaurant's security guard stepped forward, his voice firm yet laced with concern. "You can't be in here, sweetheart. This isn't a place for—" "Excuse me," boomed a voice from the corner table, instantly silencing the murmurs. Every head turned toward the source. Donald Trump had risen, his red MAGA hat perched boldly, his finger pointing directly at the security guard. "What are you doing? What are you doing? This little girl is hungry and you're turning her away? Wrong. Very bad optics, I'll tell you that." The guard hesitated, trying to justify his actions. "Mr. Trump, I just thought—" "You thought wrong. Big mistake. Huge," Trump interrupted sharply before shifting his attention to the trembling child. His expression softened as he leaned down. "What's your name, sweetheart?" "Amara," the girl whispered, barely audible. Amara, a beautiful name, a very strong name indeed. Some say it's one of the best names, very American, Trump said, his tone mingling reassurance and conviction. Leaning even closer, he inquired gently, "Where's your family?" Tears welled in Amara's eyes as she confessed, "It's just me and my little brother. Our mom left 2 days ago. I don't think she's coming back." The restaurant fell silent, the clatter of silverware and soft conversations momentarily replaced by a heavy, contemplative hush. Trump's gaze darkened as he absorbed her words. For a moment, he appeared lost in thought, perhaps remembering times when he, too, had faced doubters and naysayers. Then, with a determined snap of his fingers, he pulled out a gold-plated money clip and slid several crisp $100 bills across the table. Amara stared at the money in confusion before gently shaking her head. "I don't want money," she murmured. "I just wanted some bread." Trump blinked, his expression shifting from surprise to admiration. Wow, you know what? That's incredible. We need more people like you in this country. Honest, hardworking souls who don't want a handout. Just a fair shot at life. Beautiful." He snapped his fingers again. "You, waiter, bring this young lady the best meal you've got, and pack enough food for a week. Let's move fast." The waiter bolted from his station, while Trump knelt beside Amara once more. "Now listen, sweetheart, where do you live?" After a brief hesitation, Amara whispered an address located in one of the city's most neglected neighborhoods. Trump quickly pulled out his phone. "We're gonna fix this. Believe me," he said as he tapped out a message to his trusted team. Within minutes, a convoy of sleek black SUVs pulled up outside the restaurant. It wasn't the Secret Service this time. These were members of Trump's personal security team, tasked with a mission of compassion. They hurried inside, carrying bags filled with blankets, food, and even a brand new soft-stuffed bear meant for Amara's little brother. "All right, kid," Trump said, a spark of paternal pride in his voice. "Let's get you home." In the corridor leading to the exit, Amara glanced up with wide, inquisitive eyes. "Are you really the man from TV, the one who built all the towers?" she asked in a tone mixed with awe and uncertainty. Trump smirked. "Oh, sweetheart, I didn't just build towers. I built a movement that believes in second chances and real opportunity. The two climbed into a gold-trimmed, bulletproof Cadillac Escalade. Trump, ever the hands-on leader, took the wheel and began a drive that would mark the beginning of a remarkable journey. As the vehicle wound its way through the city streets, Trump recounted stories of his early struggles, times when every setback was met with a defiant determination to prove the world wrong. When they finally arrived at the rundown apartment complex, Amara pointed hesitantly to a broken door. Inside, her toddler brother Malik sat on a threadbare rug. His face was shadowed by hunger, and his small hands clutched at his stomach as if to ward off an ache too profound for words. Trump's jaw tightened as he surveyed the cold, dim room. "This is a disgrace, a total disgrace. Unacceptable," he declared, turning sharply to his security chief. Without missing a beat, he pulled out his phone. "Get my people on this. I want proper heat, reliable electricity, a real bed, nutritious food, and genuine American opportunity in this place by tomorrow morning." Within the hour, trucks began rolling in. Teams of workers moved swiftly, installing a new heating system, replenishing the refrigerator with fresh groceries, and distributing clean clothes and blankets to both Amara and Malik. In a symbolic gesture, a small Trump 2024 flag was placed discreetly in the window, a reminder of promises made and battles fought. Amara's eyes widened in disbelief. "Why are you helping us?" she asked, voice barely above a whisper. Trump adjusted his iconic red tie and offered a gentle smile. "Because when I was your age, they told me I wouldn't make it. They laughed and doubted me, but I proved them wrong, and I know you will too." At that moment, Trump's security chief approached with new information. "Sir, we've located her mother," he announced softly. Amara gasped, her eyes filling with renewed hope. "Where?" she cried. "She's at a shelter outside the city, forced to leave because of some very bad people." The chief explained. Trump's expression turned serious as he processed the news. "Not anymore. We're fixing this," he vowed. The following morning unfolded like a scene from a carefully orchestrated plan. Another fleet of SUVs arrived, and amid the cool, early light, Amara's mother, frail but determined, stepped out of one of them. Overwhelmed with relief, Amara and Malik rushed into her arms, their reunion punctuated by sobs and whispered promises of a better future. Yet, as Trump observed the emotional reunion from a discreet distance, his phone buzzed with a new alert. His security chief's tone was grave as he informed him, "Sir, the people behind this, these aren't just desperate souls. They're part of a larger network, not just loan sharks, but real criminals operating in the shadows." Trump's eyes narrowed. "That's it," he said, his voice hardening with resolve. "We're taking them down." By noon, Trump had convened a high-stakes meeting with his top legal advisors, cybersecurity experts, and seasoned investigators. In the cramped conference room of his penthouse suite, he outlined a plan to freeze bank accounts, trace every illegal transaction, and expose the intricate web of corruption that had ensnared vulnerable families. Over digital maps and streaming data, the team worked tirelessly, piecing together clues that revealed a vast criminal network led by a sleazy businessman named Victor Hall. By evening, as twilight cast long shadows over the city, Hall received an unanticipated visitor. Trump, his face lit by both the glow of determination and the fading light, confronted him in a deserted warehouse that served as one of Hall's clandestine meeting spots. "Victor, Victor, Victor," Trump intoned, shaking his head in disbelief. "You made a big mistake. Big, huge, messing with people who won't be pushed around." Hall's response dripped with condescension. "You can't do anything to me," he sneered, attempting to mask his fear with bravado. With a cool smile, Trump flipped his phone around. The screen now broadcast live footage of his investigative team's findings, documents, bank records, and damning evidence being relayed across every major news network. "You're done," Trump declared firmly. "Sad." In the ensuing days, as news of the takedown spread like wildfire, Trump's team worked relentlessly to dismantle Hall's empire. Legal indictments were secured, assets frozen, and a network of criminals brought into the harsh light of justice. The operation ensured that Amara's family and thousands of others caught in the crossfire of corruption would never again be targeted by such predatory schemes. That night, back in his golden penthouse high above the city, Trump took a moment to reflect. The hum of the city below mingled with the quiet satisfaction of knowing that one small act of kindness had blossomed into a mission of redemption and reform. His phone rang, displaying Amara's name. With a warm smile, he answered. "Mr. Trump?" came a timid voice on the other end. "Yeah, kid," he replied gently. "Thank you for everything," Amara said, her voice trembling with gratitude and a newfound sense of hope. "You're welcome, sweetheart," Trump said softly. "And remember, never back down. You have the strength to change your destiny." As the call ended, Trump leaned back in his chair, taking a long, reflective sip of his Diet Coke. He gazed out over the shimmering city lights, knowing that tonight, in some small way, he had made a difference. It wasn't just about towers or headlines. It was about proving that when people come together, even the most unlikely heroes can spark a transformation that makes America great for everyone. In the days that followed, as news outlets detailed the takedown of the criminal network and the dramatic reunion of a family once torn apart, the story of Amara and her brother became a symbol of hope. Community leaders, inspired by Trump's unexpected act of compassion, began to organize local initiatives, ensuring that every child in the neighborhood had access to basic necessities: food, shelter, and a safe place to grow. Amara, once a timid girl lost in a maze of despair, started to speak at community centers, sharing her story with others. "I learned that even in the darkest times, there are people who care," she would say, her eyes shining with quiet determination. And while Trump's role in her life remained a subject of much debate and media frenzy, for Amara, he was simply a reminder that kindness can break through the hardest of barriers. As weeks turned into months, the transformation of the neighborhood became evident. New community centers rose where old, dilapidated buildings once stood, and local businesses received support from both civic leaders and private donors. The neighborhood, once marked by neglect, began to flourish, a testament to the idea that every act of compassion can ripple out into a tidal wave of change. And so, under the steady light of hope and the constant hum of progress, the legacy of one extraordinary evening continued to resonate far beyond the gilded halls of a Washington, D.C. restaurant. It was a legacy built on the belief that every person, no matter how small or overlooked, deserved a chance to shine. A legacy that, in its own way, redefined what it meant to make America truly great.